The North American alligator is an apex predator that rules the waters of the Southeast. These predators can grow to 14 feet and 1,000 pounds. With the most powerful jaw on the planet, these monsters are hardwired to kill. Left unchecked, the population will continue to explode, putting humans in terrible danger. Today, Gus is heading to Florida to relocate some of these prehistoric beasts, but they aren't going to go without a fight. The hard work of producing a TV show year after year can really take a toll on all that are involved. But it all pays off when we can meet face to face with the people that love to watch the show. This year, on the drive to Florida, Gus decided to stop by and say hello to a big fan of Live the Wildlife, Bobby Johnson.
Hey, Bobby, I'm going to give him a little New York. Bobby, don't be hitting nothing. Yeah,
hey, Bobby, you sure you can handle her?
Sure you can handle this big truck. Come on, man. Be careful. Bobby, watch out. Bobby.
After some good times and lots of laughs, it was time for Gus and the crew to get back on the road and head to Florida. The state of Florida is a vacation destination spot for millions of people looking to enjoy beautiful ocean views. With over 1,300 miles of coastline, there are plenty of sandy beaches to spend some much-needed time relaxing and soaking up the sun. But move inland to freshwater, and there's a good chance you'll find a gator lurking just below the surface. Expanding development has reduced the gator's natural habitat. However, their population has not decreased. In fact, it's exploding. This increase in gators means they will take up residence in any body of water available. Tonight, Gus and the crew have been called out to help remove a nuisance gator that has moved into a pond on this cattle ranch. The cows are calving this time of year, and these calves would make for an easy meal for a mature gator.
As you can see, all the cows that are here, and this is where they're drinking, and they're calving right now, and you know, those calves get close to the water, one of those gators will take them down. So it helps the rancher, and it also, you know, we're moving the gator to someplace where it can live. It's a pretty cool deal all the way around.
There are many ways to remove an alligator from a pond like this. Tonight, Gus is using a saltwater fishing reel with a light treble hook, hoping to hook the gator and pull it in unharmed. In no time at all, Gus has the gator on the end of his line, but it's not going quietly.
Get down low now.
This is a really good thing we're doing. This gator moved into this water hole here that they have on this farm, and they have cows and calves and pets, and this gator will take one of them down. So the big thing is to get him out of here.
With the gator safely secured, it's time to relocate it to a location that's safer for everyone. And with the gator out of the pond, the cattle instinctively know that it's safe and head down for a drink. Roughly 1.25 million alligators occupy Florida's many bodies of water. From small ponds to the massive Everglades, alligators rule the water in the Sunshine State. For Gus, making the trip to Florida to hunt alligators has become a yearly event.
So picture this, I'm gonna camp in Alberta. It's frigid cold, and you know, we're not seeing many deer, and I'm there with a good buddy of mine, Craig Talbot, who lives in South Florida. He starts talking to me about gator hunting down in Florida. Now, remember this, we're in Alberta, Canada, freezing our butts off, and he's telling me about this cool gator hunting down in South Florida. And you know, I just said, man, when we get back, I'm gonna come down there and do a gator hunt with you. But one of the stipulations I had about taking gators was I wanted to bring them in live. The only way to do it is to be with a state trapper. So Craig hooked me up with Scott Barban. So me, Craig, Scott, and a couple of Scott's buddies all went out to take gators with my bow in South Florida.
Smashed him right in the freaking nose, bro.
We ended up coming onto a gator, and I shoot and wound up hitting this gator in the nose, broke through the bone. We pulled this gator in from the nose, got him into the boat. Just an incredible time down in South Florida.
Think about that, guy.
You know, I'll tell you something. You're over there, and all I could equate it to is like organized chaos. You know, you're on the boat, you hit this gator, and this thing starts thrashing, and you know, it's everybody's got a job to do, but you're really concerned because I watched how far this gator came up out of the water to bite that boat, and if he wanted to pick you off that deck, he could.
Man, that was cool, man. What's your thing?
That was awesome, man.
You know, so for me, this wasn't all that big of a deal to kill the gator. The danger to me was taking him in live. That was the cool part. And letting that gator come up, hitting the side of the boat was just incredible. And it's an experience I'll never forget. You know, you get to meet some people in your life, especially with my television show. And Tim Thomas is just one of the coolest guys I ever met. In fact, you know, I watched him in the Stanley Cup that year. And I'm a Ranger fan. He played for the Bruins, but he was Stanley Cup MVP. Just when you hear about his road to getting to the pros and all the things that he's been through personally in his life and just what he went through in his career, it's just amazing when you see a guy make it to the top and be so on his game. And I got the privilege of hunting gators with him down in South Florida.
What'd you think? Was anything you expected?
This gator is much bigger than I expected.
Yeah, it was a lot tougher, huh?
It's a lot fatter, a lot wider. It sure was strong. Took our guys a long time to get him up off the bottom. They did a great job. No, I'm just thrilled with the gator that I got. Thanks for bringing me on this hunt. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm happy you're here. Cool.
Now, I've been on a few gator hunts, and especially the one I did with my bow with Scott Barban, the last hunt that we showed. I didn't really get to experience it myself. I mean, Scott did all the work. I'll be honest with you. I made the bow shot, but that wasn't the work. The work was pulling that gator in. So when we went on this hunt, Tim was doing it with his bow. And that was really cool for him to do it. Tim's a traditional archer. He did it with his bow, and that was cool. But for me, the best way to do this was with a fishing pole. And it doesn't sound real exciting till you get a big gator on the other end of a line and you see how long it takes you to pull that gator in. And every time you make a few inches or a few feet of getting him closer, he just strips line at will. I fought that gator for over an hour, and he drug that boat all over that lake, and that was rewarding because it was all me. I tell you the truth, using the bang stick didn't interest me. I wasn't letting go of that pole for any reason. And to me, fighting a gator yourself, feeling that power is what this was all about. I'm down here in South Florida, and I've done now 2 gator hunts. I had one with my bow, one with a rod and reel, and by far the rod and reel was the coolest thing for me. So when I went back down a third time on a gator hunt, the rod and reel was all I was going to use. This time, instead of doing it from a boat, which allowed the gator to pull the boat around, I was going to do it from the shore. The only thing we had to think about on this was there was female gators nesting. And if you came by one of those nests, they could charge you. Now, you might not think a gator's that fast, but in a 40-foot range, they can outrun a quarter horse. So, I mean, they could go really quick for a short distance. So as far as if you walking along with a fishing rod, looking to cast it in the water, if you step on one of those nests or get close to one, that gator can get you. So that was something to think about while we were on this trip. We're down there, and I hook into this 12-foot gator. Just a monster. I mean, you know, everything I could ever ask for in a gator. Oh, it's a big gator, right? And we start reeling this thing in. And again, when you're on the shore, you don't have the luxury of him pulling the boat. So everything that you feel is you standing on the ground and this gator pulling you. That's all that work I just did. Oh, yeah. I mean, this pole was bent. I'm at the point where I'm leaning back at a 45-degree angle, and I'm saying to myself, if this line snaps, I'm rolling back 10 feet. I mean, it was that much tension put on this pole.
You see the beak on that thing?
A big damn gator.
That's a
It
monster.
took me over an hour to get this gator in, and once we got him in, again, we took him in live,
That's a hell of a gator, man. That's a big gator.
which was the coolest thing. And we didn't kill him before we got him out of the water. The last hunt I did, we had to because of the place we were at. We weren't allowed to remove him live. But here, we were allowed to remove him live. So we got the gator out, up on shore, held him down, and I took my outdoor edge knife and cut the spinal cord, and that kind of paralyzed him, put him down. It was just an incredible experience to get to do that. And you could see it, like I said, standing on the ground, not on a boat that moved, you got to feel the full intense power of these gators. And man, all I could tell you is, messing with gators now for 3 different times, I never want to get grabbed by a gator and pulled in the water, because you're not getting away. How long we find this thing? About an hour?
About an hour. I'm thinking it's 15 minutes. It's the second time that's happened to me. You get so pumped up and you don't want to lose them. But this is just a giant. Look at this gator. Look at this gator, man. Wow, beautiful gator.
So I've been on some gator hunts and harvested them with different weapons, put them down, processed the meat, got to take it home. But when I noticed something when I went to the processing plant, that they already had gator meat that was processed. I mean, I guess a gator from 6 to 8 feet is probably the best eating gator. So when you get them big old 12-foot bulls, you know, although the tail is great and the meat is still good quality, it's not as good as them younger gators where the meat's real tender. So it got me to thinking, and I said, you know, I've taken these gators and I never really cared if I killed them, to be straight up with you. The dangerous part isn't killing the gator. The dangerous part is taking them out live. That's the cool thing to do for me. I don't know if I really need to kill any more gators. Hey, I could go down there and purchase the gator meat. It's wild gator meat. It's right there, so I don't have an issue with getting the quality meat. I don't know if I really need to kill them, but I still dug the whole thing, get a chance to be out there and handling these live gators. So I hooked up with some people who do gator relocation. And to me, this was off the charts. So on this one hunt, we go in and this gator's down in this culvert pipe, and they give me a long PVC tube with a treble hook at the end. So we feed this into this culvert pipe. Now you gotta think about it. Now you're down on the ground. You don't know where the gator is, which way he's facing. We know the gator was there. It went into the pipe. So I'm releasing this, I'm feeding this pipe in. And then once I get it all the way to the back end of that pipe, I'm releasing it and pulling up the plastic PVC pipe out. So now the PVC pipe is out, and I start pulling on this treble hook with a rope. Well, all of a sudden, you feel tension, and once you do, you set that hook. And now you're pulling this gator out. But the big thing is, you don't know if that gator's coming head first or tail first. He's coming head first. I mean, he's coming right at you. You're in serious trouble.
That's a good one.
Down by the foot again.
All right, you can, hey, just gotta get it down in there. All right, there's your.
So we hook this gator and we start pulling it out. And I'm trying to do the best I can, helping out, pulling the rope, getting my hands on the gator, trying to help these guys. But I had to back off a few different times just to make sure that I wasn't in the way. They were worried about my safety, but they also had a job to do. And they got the gator held down, taped up the mouth, and we got this gator into the truck.
Nuisance gators, what do you do with them? In a lot of cases, they're killed. But when I got the opportunity to go back down to South Florida and work with removing and relocating nuisance gators, I was all over it. To me, the excitement of the hunt was all there, all the danger of the hunt. You're taking one of these predators out, getting them, back taped up, secured, and removed and put to another area where they can live out the rest of their life where they're not in contact with humans. It's that dilemma. You sit there going, we've encroached on their land, but actually, you know what? We're part of nature also. We have to live, they have to live. The problems come when the two overlap.
Well, as you can see, the housing and everything's going up. They're clearing all this out, moving people in. You can hear the tractors and everything in the background. We got a lot of gators out here, and instead of killing them, we got 2,000 acres right over there that we're going to relocate them, and we can release them back to where they are. You know, it's better habitat for the alligators and for the people. You know, when they start clearing these ponds, you know, your fish are dying out, the cover's dying out for these alligators, and they have nowhere to go. Plus, you got kids running around, dogs, animals. You know, it's safer to just to move them, relocate them, and everybody's happy.
So we're down in South Florida, and we have to locate this 12-foot gator that's been causing some problems on this farm. Now, the problem was there was a drought, so the water levels were really low. So these gators were actually moving to wherever there was water. We located a small body of water in this canal where this gator was holding up. Now, the problem was we had to get down there, get our fishing poles, get the treble hooks into the gator, put him up on the bank, secure him so that we can remove him. One of the big things is there wasn't a lot of water. So this gator could pretty much run out of this body of water and get one of us at any time he wanted. The point is, he doesn't really want to do that. We just didn't want to provoke him to the point where he did.
Yeah, he's well over 10 foot.
That's fine.
Alligators have one of the most powerful bites on the planet. With a bite force of nearly 3,000 pounds per square inch, when an alligator snaps its jaws shut, it has enough strength to break even the largest bones with ease. One wrong move wrestling one of these monsters could be disastrous.
That's a stud there, buddy.
Female alligators rarely exceed 10 feet in length, but males can grow much bigger. Mature male alligators can grow in excess of 12 feet and weigh as much as 1,000 pounds, making this opportunistic predator a danger to anything in its path.
Man, he's over 12. Over 12-foot gator. That's just a giant boy. I tell you what, he pulled up one hell of a fight too, because that's a lot of meat there. I'll tell you what. But you know what? Getting him out live, relocating him, there is nothing better than this. You know, this gator will live and breed again and just live out the rest of his natural life on a preserve here on the other part of this property. So I'm pretty psyched to be a part of this.